What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Chop Sports Daily. Welcome back to those of you who missed us dearly. The texts and the calls and the concerns. It was very heartwarming. It was like, you missed us. You really missed us. It is Sturch. It is Gooch. It is Dina behind the glass. We were supposed to have Kyle and Toast in here today. They are sleeping. No, kidding. They got other things going on. Big NBA slate. Potentially working with them later on today. Potentially a second show later on today. So we'll figure that out.
Every time fucking Scoop sits in my seat, it's dropped 4 inches low.
You got an echo over there?
Me?
Everyone's muted.
We're good?
Are we good?
I mean, I don't know.
Anyone in the comments tell us?
Anybody in the comments could tell us we're good or not. That'd be great. It is a live show after all. I don't know where the mics are all. Whoa.
Mine's muted.
What was that?
That was me doing something on my end.
All right. Well,
so
nobody wants to say
we're
good.
good.
Judy said, thank you, Judy, the legend that is Judy Gucci. All right, so welcome, everybody. Welcome back, Sturch and Gooch, and, of course, Dina behind the glass. Want to thank you guys for all your texts and concerns and messages and everything like that, being concerned about the show and the the whereabouts of where we were. Technically, sure as shit, we were lost, right? Me and Gooch were completely lost. Between the hours of 11 and 12, I was like completely didn't know what to do.
They're saying that the echo is still there. It sounds like Dave's voice is going through
Is your computer
a different
mic
microphone.
on?
No, I'm muted. Who's saying what?
I mean, it's all in the comments.
It's back.
So Amazing says slight echo. Scoop says echo. Mark echo.
Turn down your
Judy
mic.
says it's back again.
Turn down your mic. Turn down all mics except for R2.
Try now.
What would they call that move in wrestling? Was that a double axe handle?
There's no.
Up against the I think it just fixed. Kyle, hopefully it just fixed. We got the reverb. Freaky.
All right,
So this is the remix.
let's try it again. This is ridiculous. You won't like that. No, you won't. You
We
won't.
just did a double axe.
I just
handle.
elbowed the green screen. I just probably broke my elbow, but you know what? I don't give a shit. Good form? Was it good form at least?
I don't know, man. I think that would have been one of those, like, you wish you had back. That was not good form, Dave.
No? All right. Well, other people are saying that you're good, and then it's not an echo. You just sound different. I don't know how we sound different, but I don't know. I mean, I'm trying to think. Are we on the right mics? Are we on the right? 2 and 4, 2 and 3 are up. Everybody's saying we're good.
We are.
This is the most annoying thing in the history of things, but we're finally good as far as the internet's concerned right now until Optimum comes crashing through the door like the fucking Kool-Aid guy. Oh, yeah, I'm just going to change everything around. But it is what it is. Anyway, it's been a day. You're louder than normal. Turn down my mic a little bit there.
2.
Whatever, 2 and 3. If they're maxed to the gills, so that's maybe possibly another fault that if the mics are picked up too high, that means like bring yours closer to you so they don't hear me on your mic. You know what I'm saying? Like, so they might be hearing me on his mic because I'm talking loud. You know, it's just that's the way I talk, but it sounds like it's coming from further away. I'm ready to just fucking quit again. Honestly.
Deal with it, guys.
Yeah, but in any event.
Yeah, we're all right.
All right, cool. I don't know. I lost my train of thought. There's a lot to go into today, obviously. First and foremost, Putin invaded Chop Studios yesterday. Absolutely. The Russians were here. But you know what? There's a lot of sources. Sources have told me that this has everything to do with Scoop's not being here. Okay? Scoop's departure.
Scoop being here to begin with.
I don't know, man. I got a text yesterday from an avid listener and watcher said Scoop is messing with the progress of the show.
That's what I'm getting at. Scoop came in 2 days, sabotaged the show, and we haven't really been the same since. Even on Wednesday, I think things were off. Were they not?
I don't remember. Chris is low now. Can you please turn Chris's mic up? Because Chris does not talk as loud as I do. That's just who he is. So just make sure my mic is a little bit less than Chris. If you're looking at the volumes and the things and just I'm gonna fucking.
We're all right.
We're not all right. We are not all right. You're about to have the show for the rest of the show by yourself because I'm about to walk the fuck out.
My birthday curse. Happy birthday to me.
Yeah, seriously. Don't ever have a birthday again, ever.
Wow, you just told me to
Yeah, basically. I told you not to make it to your 39th. But in any event, the mics are off. Sounds.
Jesus fucking Christ. Y'all,
All right. Don't know what to do because I'm not here and I don't listen. Sounds like the mics are off. So make sure that the mics, now to piss you guys off, but Chris sounds way low. Okay.
are you guys fucking with us?
I don't know. Maybe they're
I
fucking with
haven't
us.
said a word in like 40 minutes.
Yeah, so for you to be even them to say like Chris sounds low, Chris hasn't spoke. So that's a thing. But we did mess around with a couple
They're
things.
trolling. Just continue. He says it sounds fine.
Wait, I don't think the mics are on. Tap the mic. Are they fucking with me?
Yes, they're fucking with you.
Are they? Because I'm gonna punch them all right dead in the face. All of them,
Why don't you put the
single-handedly.
headphones on?
But yeah, please put the headphones on. But that has nothing to do with the sound of the
But
stream.
you'll hear
They'll
the
sound
mics will
fine.
sound fine. Yes, we're good.
You guys sound totally fine.
No, I'm not fucking with you. My mother says I'm okay. My mom, I'm going on my mom's.
We're not fucking with you, according to Scoop.
Half of these people say it sounds fine and half of them don't. Like, I don't get it.
Check 1 2. That was me bringing my own volume up. Yeah, I don't know.
Chris isn't talking, guys. That's why he's not making sound.
Unplug my mic and plug it.
Yeah,
back.
please unplug the back of it and unplug your thing right there too as well.
Fucking hate my life right now.
Why wouldn't they be listening on YouTube, by the way?
Everything has been unplugged and plugged back in.
How about now?
How about now? See, you know what the problem is like there is a delay. So like I'm trying to figure out like why. This is the fucking beauty part about live fucking television, boys and girls.
Stop tapping on your mic for a sec.
Definitely.
Okay, Dave, talk.
Check 1 2 1 2. All the levels are good on the Roadcaster, right? So it's all about the stream again. So we get fucked with the stream. You know what it is.
I know exactly what it is.
What is it?
We never re-hooked up the Roadcaster mic to that when it was unplugged. So you got to go into the settings on that computer, and it's probably just coming through her mic.
No, I don't think so. Is the hardwire in?
My mic's all the way down after I
The
turn
hardwire
it.
might not even be in.
The hardwire's not in. Where's the fucking hardwire?
Right there.
Where? Oh, this holy.
There's a checklist, Dina.
That's not on the checklist. I've never even seen that thing. I don't get paid. Don't yell at me.
There's a motherfucking checklist.
Very stressful today. I'm gonna
This is
cry.
awful.
At least we still have.
So how the fuck are they
17
listening to it?
people
That's
in
what I
here.
wanna
They're
know.
still no, because they could hear.
Dina's mic that's on that.
When I turn mine down, that's why.
So it's like going through the computer. That's why it sounds like we're far away. Are we good now? Put this in the documentary. Steve, we are back.
I think we're good.
Well, we appreciate all 20 of you guys. It's actually growing.
We're
now.
good. We're good.
I think honestly, this is the best content we put out.
I mean,
because
that's not. It's not. I don't know
I
who's
mean,
gonna. I don't know
people
who's
were
gonna look at
watching-
this and be like, "What a great show they got going on."
Well,
over
what's not going to happen is we're not going to get the views on YouTube after. So it's like when somebody just organically finds this episode on YouTube and they click on
It's
it,
gonna
they're
be a
see
shit
us
episode.
Scrambling for the first 15
So is
minutes.
Dave still gonna punch all of us? Every single one of you.
Dead in the-
Wednesday,
dead in the
you're
face.
dead, Anthony. Oh my God. So anyway, by the way, Dave's sweater is awesome. Well, go buy one there, Mike. They're on sale now. Chopsportsmedia.com. Chopsports.shop. The sad part is Dave thought we were lying. Chris said you owe us 9 minutes. Whoever accused me of trolling when I was trying to help could suck my balls, and that would be. Oh, and now
I didn't
Anthony's
take it
backing up.
personally.
That was you.
No, that was So Amazing New Jersey that said that about
all right.
everyone, not just Kyle.
We're sucking balls. You know what? Speaking
I
of
thought
balls,
my
let's go
mom-
right into it. Manscaped.com, ladies and gentlemen. How about that? Support for today's show. The Chop Sports Daily is brought to you by Manscaped, who is the best in men's below-the-waist grooming. Manscaped offers precision-engineered tools for your family jewels. Recently launched the Ultimate Men's Hygiene Bundle. Guess what it's called, folks? the Performance Package 4.0. Join over 4 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped with this exclusive offer for you, 20% off worldwide shipping. Enter the code CHOPSPORTS at manscaped.com. Inside the package, you'll find the Lawnmower 4.0. I know you use that, right, Gooch? Or at least you've said it. I don't really want to know about it, but
I
yes.
actually trimmed my actual hair with it today. I don't know if that's sacrilege or not to mix ball hair and human head hair.
I hope you washed it or brushed it. Or
Well, I'd use it in the
is.
shower. So, I mean, it washes itself. No?
Oh my God. If that's true, sorry, I unplugged that cord last night, guys. Scoop. I don't think it's true. That thing was laying over there. It's not on Scoop, but way to try to take responsibility for that. But anyway, back to the Performance Package. It's got a 4th generation trimmer, advanced skin safe technology. You're not nicking your balls. Thank God. Don't do that. And also the 400K LED light, ladies and gentlemen, shave in the dark. It's the best possible thing you could do. And it's waterproof. So you can take it in the shower. Don't make a mess in the bathroom. It's got the Weed Whacker ear and nose trimmer up your nostrils, in and around your ear. For your older folk, I'm here to tell you that's not attractive. If you have nose hair or ear hair, yes, you do have nose hair and ear hair, but you can fix that. Trim it. Do it. The Crop Preserver ball deodorant and Crop Reviver are exactly what they sound. Your balls are tucked in there all day. Be sure to freshen them up with that. 20% off of manscaped.com. Please go to that website, Chop Sports at checkout. Get yourself a massive discount. Oh, my God. The transition was seamless. Anthony, I know. You're like Anthony, you're a good kid. I love this kid. I do. It's one of our better decisions as a company to get Anthony in here. He said some stuff yesterday that had me
bro, when you left, he opened up a can with me, bro. He started asking me
you
about
guys
politics,
talking about Illuminati and shit.
My thought on the afterlife, and I'm like, bro, what did you just do to my day? You literally just ruined my day.
The day was
now
already
I'm not gonna
ruined.
Shut the fuck up, and I'm gonna over-explain everything, as if you couldn't understand it the first time through.
Oh my goodness! But anyway, that's how you do it, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, exactly. That's how you do an ad. They get better. They will get better. But I'm flustered. I'm sweating now. I want to make a public apology to Dina. She does not get paid enough at all to get yelled at by me. I shouldn't be yelling at anybody except my daughter.
You ever had an ear hair
forgive you.
situation going on?
Ear and what?
Ear hair situation going
I've
on?
never personally done that.
When you're old.
No, well,
older?
that leads me to my next point.
Oh boy, you
unfortunately,
might have just knocked his
There's-
oldness.
there's been a few times recently, never in my life before this, where I'm in the barber's chair and all of a sudden I'll feel a buzz on my ear and I'm like,
Oh, you mean actually hair on the ear itself?
yeah, I'm getting my ears buzzed,
Yeah.
and then
I mean, they don't go inside.
I've never really noticed any hair on my ears
It's like peach
until I
fuzz.
went to the barbershop and he's shaving it. And then the other day I'm looking and I'm like, Ash, do you see that? And there was a 2-inch hair on my ear. I'm like, where the fuck did that come from? Perfect timing. Perfect timing. I took the nose hair trimmer and I
That's
trimmed
so
it off.
funny. Woke
Ashley's
queen
laughing
coming in.
because
There's
she
a
knows-
woke queen in here. Bears,
She-
Jets, and Jags need to spend more money. I agree. We're gonna fix, but in this episode, we're gonna fix did you, by the way, I didn't even look, but did you bring up the Manscaped thing while I was talking to Manscaped? You did. See,
did.
I'm just losing faith in everybody and all humanity, including you, but I shouldn't have. You're the best at what you do, Dina. Happy belated birthday. Let's get some drinks tomorrow. Let's watch the Knicks beat the Sixers on Sunday. It's gonna be
Yes.
glorious. It's gonna be fun.
We will
He asked me to
redeem
pull it
it.
out. Did she boing, just one shot?
No, she shut it down. I did it. And then I sprinkled it on her somewhere. So she had to pay the hard way.
You probably
God.
make $1 out of it. Anyway, oh boy. So anyway, MLB lockout, right? Because we're still dealing with this shit. Anyway, so this is not getting anywhere. They've met all week. They're meeting again today. They are so far apart. There's people saying that if it doesn't get done by Monday, that's the hard deadline to not delay any games. My only thing is this: when we follow up with this, the players are going to lose money. And I understand that the narrative is right now, Gooch, that the players aren't locking out. It's the owners.
Well, it's
the
not
owners shut
it's
the
not
door.
the narrative. That's the reality of it. And I know that there was a decent debate between two of Chop Sports' finest, between Kyle and Hawaii and Mike last night, about siding with billionaire owners or not getting involved when there's millionaires fighting with billionaires over, But at
Pennies.
the end of the day,
I mean, they're kind of far apart on
at
a
the
couple
end
of
of
their
the
things,
day,
but it's,
at the
it's
end of the day,
annoying.
these things have to happen in these situations. You could compare it to a regular job and say, well, look, if I owned a company, and this is what Kyle was saying, if I owned a company,
Which he does.
and my workers, making demands that I wasn't willing to meet, then I would tell them to sit the fuck down too. And I understand that aspect of it, but this is a little bit different because in your company or in most companies, there's people that are interchangeable. You could replace these employees of yours with
AJ,
other people.
You're out of there.
With other people and train them and do the
Dina.
same thing. You can't replace a Mike Trout with another guy.
There's no other Mike Trout.
There is no, if the stars aren't in the game, then there is no game.
Right.
And I understand the stars have an obligation to the lesser players and the future players that they make it right for them going forward. And it's not necessarily the players that are active now. It's the future of the game. And it's one of those things where I always talk about it, where the owners are in a better spot because they could play the long game. The players are stuck between playing the long game for the future, but they also want to get what's theirs. So I always side with the players. And I know that I'm not typically always siding with unions in these types of situations, but in the special case where there's star athletes involved, you have to side with them because without them, there's no product.
Right.
Simply put.
So that's where we're at. I mean, they're going to meet again today. There was a couple little optimistic people that thought maybe Friday was going to be the day. They locked down a thing. Everybody get on your bus, get to spring training by Monday. I don't think that happens.
So just to clear this up a little bit for you, Rob, the Major League Baseball owners get paid regardless because of the way their TV deal is designed.
Merchandise.
Well, no, they don't have to play the games. It's actually was beneficial to the owners over COVID to not play, and that was the big beef.
Because you weren't paying
the players wanted more games and the owners wanted less. Same situation. It actually is somewhat costing the owners money to play in some of these games because the TV deal is where they make their money. That's guaranteed. And when you play a game, that's when you have to start getting paid as a player. So your salary of $30 million, it gets prorated if you miss games, and that saves money for the owners because the prorated salary of a lot of these teams is really high.
Payne, you would say something like that. No one cares. Cancel the season. He's a Mets fan, so the Mets fans out there should be begging for this season to come through because you've made all these moves and you get the best two pitchers in baseball on your rotation. Don't you want to see that come to fruition?
Yeah.
I would think the Mets fans are even more pissed off than the Yankee fans.
I think that because the Mets have definitely been the champions of the offseason,
again,
and it's happened a few times that the Mets kind of realize that this is their time to shine. So keep this offseason going as long as possible because that's 99% of fandom is hope. And right now the Mets have hope.
You increased that, by the way.
What?
You used to say like 90%.
He's becoming more positive.
Yeah.
I feel like that could be looked at as negative too.
90% of being a fan is hope. The 10% is like
is having hope.
But you said 99, so like that you're upping the hope.
Either way, you get the point. It's really just an arbitrary number that I'm using to make another point. But now that I don't know what I was saying because I smoke a lot of weed, you're gonna have to run this back for me. So what was I saying?
Chris, lock him up. Lock him up.
I was talking about having hope, and that's why the Mets fans have hope right now or they're happy because they're winning the offseason. But
Chris says we win in March and April, then he gets to enjoy his summer.
Is anybody surprised right now? Now,
relax there, Rob, with the Freddie Freeman.
Everybody's making it seem like there's this, the sky is falling because they haven't gotten a deal done yet, and it is bad. But going into this week, they haven't met really more than 3 times since the lockout started. They met 4 times this week so far. I'm not sure that they even have any more meetings scheduled at all. I know that they said, is it for sure?
Yes.
For sure.
Yes.
All right. So then there's a 5th.
That's what I'm saying. They're going to hammer out one more time.
But they've met for 4 days, and the early reports after meeting day 1 and day 2 were like that. Okay, they made some progress. And that pretty much got walked back on after yesterday's meetings. And they're saying that they're pretty much at a basic standstill. And there's just no way this gets done. And there's no way it's going to get done in a week. It's probably going to be about a month. That's my guess.
And again, there's another month of negotiations coming up. So you're looking at April to get
the owners. The owners asked for a mediator again, and the players denied it again. So I just don't think that they're any closer. Things could change very soon, and when it happens, it'll happen fast. But
I don't like that.
Have you seen any good news about the lockout?
No, I've not.
I look every day. I look several times a day. I have yet to see one positive report coming out about
There's
baseball.
Literally not one.
Soon.
Passan and Heyman and those guys. Those are the guys that are on top of baseball, like your Schefters of the world in baseball. But they're never ever positive. It's always like, this is how far apart they are. This is where we stand right now. There won't be an MLB season opener on March 31st. So we'll see. We'll see, because it sucks. It sucks for all of us, because if you're not an NBA fan and you don't like hockey, you're screwed. You have no baseball, no football. The USFL just had their draft with them. Like, I don't even know when the hell that starts. I have no idea.
I just got done talking about how like Major League Baseball stands no chance if the Major League Baseball stars aren't there. Same thing with the USFL.
Do you know? I heard this ratings thing. Ready for this? The NBA All-Star Game did not beat out the Pro Bowl in the ratings.
Well, why would it have?
The Pro Bowl sucked. The NBA All-Star Game at least has something.
Yeah,
some
but
kind of.
we're talking about NFL.
That's what I'm
in the
saying. What I'm
NBA.
saying is, no matter what the case, it could be the worst product they trot out there, which was the Pro Bowl. Nobody enjoyed that shit at all. They still beat ratings hand and fist, like just easily done.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
I have zero interest in either. So unless I'm gambling, I have no interest in either. And even gambling on that is awful.
Right, for this, according to Hawaii Mike, Daytona had 4 times more viewers than the NBA All-Star Game. Daytona, baby. Oh, by the way, we're going to Dover.
Yes.
I'm making the executive decision. We all got to go to Dover. It's a couple hour drive, road trip. Everybody's invited. Scoop, Vinny, you guys can orchestrate this shit. Get us on board. We'll go to Dover because I have to be there.
I have next to zero interest in going to Dover.
You don't want to get drunk and shoot guns?
I drink like 2 beers and I need a nap. I'm not built like that anymore.
Not built. Ready for this? Not built like that anymore. But as of yesterday, folks, the creation of the dodgeball and kickball circuit has begun. So he's not built to go to Dover and drink, but he's built to play dodgeball and kickball.
Why doesn't that make sense? Like I'm built for performance, not to go sit there and
Built for speed and real for
Yeah.
comfort.
performance. We'll call it performance.
All right.
Because I'm definitely not.
Y'all, I'm sure you
built
guys
for
have
comfort.
heard this the news yesterday that broke, or not broke, but at least started to percolate a little bit, and that's we're gonna try to run a kickball league and a
No,
dodgeball
we're not
league.
trying to run it. I'm definitely running it. We
Wow.
got a nice positive response yesterday.
Yes, we
It's all
did.
about finding a venue, which I also got reached out to by several of my close friends, and a couple other people. Hawaii Mike actually might be able to lock down
Did
a
you
venue.
did you make a hire that I'm not aware of?
Oh yeah, well Ashley's going to help out with the event planning, and she is now 100%. It's a solid thing because you know what my least favorite thing on earth is to do
Planning
is to,
events?
is to make a phone call to anywhere
Event
at all.
planning is
Period.
fun.
The end.
She got didn't you just oh no, that's another
Yeah,
discussion
we're
for
gonna talk
another
about
day.
that after. But yeah, she did. She
She's
does.
helped out.
If
a
I
lot.
need my food returned, she's my girl. She's the one that does
Like,
it.
for
If
instance,
I need anything
you know what?
complained about, that's who.
Ash,
She's
now
a-
that you're watching, I'm going to give you the number to Optimum. You're going to call Optimum and get us knocked off a whole bunch of money because we got lost the show yesterday. And I was here early today to scramble to get down to basement, which, by the way, there's definitely 1,000% in my mind bodies buried under the concrete. Hoffa
And
might
I
be there.
also I want to clarify something because this is why I emphasize team. If anybody could get a team, in all caps, a team, and then I even said keyword team, and then there was not one single person that raised their hand that they're in and said, "Oh, I could get a team." They all just want to play.
We'll put
So
them
it's
all
going
on
to be
a
an
sheet.
interesting situation.
It's going to be the first ever dodgeball, kickball, chop sports draft. Like, I think that the teams need to be drafted.
I love that.
If it's going to be tournament style, then we could do that. But when we do this league, I'm entering a team, and that's just it.
I was told I
can
couldn't
feel,
play.
I'm
I
not
can feel
doing
the
this.
purple
I'm not
cobras
doing this.
in my soul.
I'm
That this
not-
guy's gonna be.
I'm not doing
You
this
know?
to fucking go lose.
Oh, you know what? I got a teammate for you. She was considered one of the deadliest women in Russia with a ball. She's down the street now poking holes in
I
people.
don't know, man. Like that, she's not actually Russian, right?
She's Ukrainian, so shout out
it's
to
like-
obviously no joke there. Obviously, we thoughts and prayers to everything going on over there. It really sucks, but hopefully that gets resolved.
Also, the
sooner than
rules
later,
of
I
this
don't know.
league are there's definitely
No Russians.
pegging in
Kidding.
the face. You are allowed to peg in the head
Oh,
and face. Like none of these soft dodgeball rules where you play and if you hit somebody in the head,
you know
you're
what-
out.
I
the
feel
fuck
like
is
Chris
that?
is just going to be aiming for people's
No, no,
face.
no.
This is an anger play.
Dirty.
No,
This is
it's
an anger
not.
play.
It's not. First of all, if
I'm
you're
gonna come in
aiming,
on Monday. Like,
if you're aiming
welcome,
for
everybody.
my
eyes
heads
gonna
in dodgeball, you simply don't know what you're doing because if you throw it at my
Chris,
face,
it's been 30 years since I played dodgeball. You know what I'm
don't
saying?
care.
Like,
Throw the ball at my face and I'm going to catch it and you're going to be out. All right. So definitely don't throw it at my face because you're out.
oh my god. I refuse to play on Scoop's team. I can't deal with his lack of athleticism.
The bottlenose dolphin is also.
Whoa! I
fucking-
have to see Kyle any ounce of athleticism. This is how many do you need for a team? Bohannon's coming back in.
I guess we'll decide on all those things
As we create this
in the
league, that's
future,
what's
but
going to happen.
I would say probably eight people. I gotta
The
go look up
headshot
the rules.
league.
It's 100% happening. Like, let's be real.
Peekaboo.
Gonna have to sign that waiver. Bring a pen.
Terrible.
Please have health insurance.
Huh?
I said, please have health.
Yeah, you're going to
insurance.
sign a waiver. You're going to have health insurance
Bro,
and
bro,
all to
you
play.
realize-
all in the spirit of adult
Okay, guys.
dodgeball.
Okay, guys. Kids played dodgeball my entire life in
You
school.
know, got banned, right?
Yeah, it got banned because everyone's a pussy, but not because it's dangerous and it was sending kids to the hospital. It was like more or less,
Picking on the fat kids.
Yeah, but this is this crowd.
yeah.
This is gonna be
Right.
vicious.
This might be the worst crowd to play with.
If you're entering this with no confidence, you shouldn't be entering this. That's all I'm going to say. This is dodgeball.
incredible.
The fuck? If you were one of the
This is
people,
dodgeball.
if you were
so
one of the people
mad.
in gym class where it was like dodgeball day and you weren't ecstatic about it, you have no business in this league because I'm going to peg you in the face.
The best thing, this is dodgeball. Like it's Scooter McGavin. What the hell's going on,
But
people?
we're talking about health insurance
It was
and
a
things like that.
joke.
It's like, bro,
Oh, bro, dude.
I was making a joke. I'm sorry.
Everybody's gonna wear helmets.
you're going to need it against the fucking
Oh my god, against laser
against
over here.
the Chop Sports green and yellow team.
Oh my god, it's the Packers.
Also,
my
we
goodness.
will be providing jerseys and all that stuff too.
Oh wow, I mean, we're
we're not
rolling
giving
in it
they're
over
not
here.
for free, but
Oh, okay.
you know that's going to be part of the
Okay.
fee. We'll call it.
Chris White Goodman Gucci. Nobody makes Chris bleed his own blood. Nobody. Oh boy. So anyway,
Got the
you know-
little Packer reference there with LaFleur.
LaFleur.
no, that's from that was Vince Vaughn's character name
In
in
Dodgeball.
dodgeball.
Oh well, fuck
LaFleur.
it. I'm definitely not on the average Joes. There's
Yeah.
no doubt on that.
You can tell they're
Not
a
playing on
dodgeball
that
team.
team.
Dude, that's such a great movie. Dina, add that to the list to put on today at some point. as she writes it down. There are a lot of things that can hurt than a dodgeball. A lot of more things that can hurt than a dodgeball. That's very true. Cram up your cram hole the floor. Perfect. Anyway, let's get to what I really wanted to get into today, and that's fixing the NFL salary cap situation, which, by the way, could be a myth. Some people don't believe in it. Some people believe in it. I tend to think about teams like the Saints and the Rams, where I'm just like, okay, you're $1 trillion over. How the hell do you even have a team right now? Because there are actual penalties. Like you can't, the salary cap penalties are up to $5 million in fines, loss of draft picks, loss of those guys that you signed. Like there's a whole lot of shit that they can do as the NFL to penalize you. So there's a couple teams on the back end that are struggling right now. And we start with the New Orleans Saints. So going into the offseason right now, the New Orleans Saints are $76 million over the cap. Gooch, how do you fix it? Well, good thing for overthecap.com, which I reference all my contract stuff. So I'm not looking at any comments right now. So you can handle that.
Yeah.
But in any event, at the top of their salary, their cap number hit, their biggest hit right now is Marshawn Lattimore. Now, remember, there's only a couple things. There's pre-June 1st cuts, post-June 1st cuts. What that actually means, nobody really knows. But it's structured in all these deals.
It's verbiage in contracts, and it just it allows
So June
these,
1st, all of a sudden, is that one pivotal date that things get reset. And I believe the salary cap shifts on June 1st.
When does free agency open?
March 13th this year, or the window for tampering
I
for
think
2 days.
I think what it does in this case is it gives the team a little bit of leverage on being able to keep a guy in town for a little bit, but it's like almost kind of depending on how you want to look at it, because if you keep the guy in town and you don't free up the cap until June 1st, then you don't really have that cap space to play with in free agency because it's already halfway over. You get what I'm saying?
I absolutely get what you're saying.
Whereas it also closes the potential for another team to negotiate with a guy. But typically when you see a cap casualty happen, there's very rarely a rework. You know, the extension typically happens before June 1st.
So now I'll throw a couple names out at you, and I'll throw their figures out at you, and you let me know if it'll be like a bounce back, would you? And then I'll kind of counter you if I disagree. So right now, if you got Marshawn Lattimore, guess what? You're stuck with him because post-June.
Yeah, but we were reading. Look, I know that we're not going to actually take this to the bank as gospel.
I mean, you
if
can
anybody
trade him.
maybe knows this, you can trade him. But isn't there a thing where if they extend him, they could defer a lot of that money that's owed on this year's bonus?
100%.
And if they get the extension done before June 1st, then they
What's
will
funny
save,
is-
they will save 18 million off the cap, and you could expect Marshawn Lattimore is kind of their best, if not their best player. He's clearly their best player in the back end of that secondary, of that defense in general, I should say. And I would say that a deal with Marshawn Lattimore is imminent in order to free up some money, not to even sign anybody else, because they still need to free up a lot more money just to get under the cap.
Yeah, I mean, there's 76, and here's another problem. The whatchamacallit, I lost the page.
Michael Thomas is the guy that goes.
That, and it just sucks that Drew Brees is $11 million in dead cap money this year.
He's been holding them hostage. For
11.5 million. You have to pay Drew Brees, and he's over on NBC making more money. Crazy. That's just, to me, that's nuts. But yeah, Michael Thomas is the one that if you cut him outright pre-June 1st, you'd save $2 million. If you wait till after June 1st, you're saving $15.8 million.
So Michael Thomas is gone.
So now you're cutting Michael Thomas.
But the thing is, it handcuffs the team, because they're not going to be able to. Like, Jameis will be signed by a team long before June 1st.
Correct.
Now, they could still sign a guy when they don't have the cap space, because they don't have to get under the cap until what date?
There's a date. I don't know.
Yeah, but it's not until after free agency. Am I wrong about that? Like,
I don't know.
You could go over the cap as long as you're.
Look, there's teams over the cap right now.
Yeah, you could.
Right,
Well, no, it's projected. There's not teams over the cap yet. When the
new league year starts, this is where we're at.
Yeah, this is where we're at. But there's a date where they have to get under the cap, so you could still sign guys, but then it puts you in a really rough spot if you're not able to.
All right, so I talked to Michael Thomas. I talked to Michael Thomas about this, about maybe a restructure.
No, he's cut.
Cam Jordan also post June 1st cut $15 million. He would save if they waited. $15 million. Those are so the post June 1st cuts are the ones where you really cash in. And you got to wait.
I think the Saints are in a really, really difficult situation right now.
Bradley Roby, $10 million.
Now,
that's insane.
When you're looking at what they can't even cut Taysom Hill, by the way. I know people are thinking
we looked
Taysom
into
Hill's
that.
got to go, but he's got one more season with them regardless, based on the way the language is in the contract. But the Saints are in a tough spot right now, because they're without a quarterback and they're without money. And if they have any chance at kind of scratching the surface at being a successful team this year, they're going to need Jameis Winston back. It's very unlikely that that's going to happen, because I think Jameis is going to be the most touted quarterback in the open market.
Gun to your head, Jameis Winston gets offers from who? Who do you think is in need of a quarterback right now?
Tampa?
The Colts? If they're trying to move on from Carson Wentz?
I wouldn't be surprised to see a Tampa Bay situation.
A reunion with Tampa Bay.
Or one of these other young quarterbacks that might not be quite ready yet, and you don't necessarily bring in Jameis to be the long-term guy. Jameis is just going to be that journeyman quarterback that ends up being very much like his old teammate in Fitzpatrick, where you see Jameis bounce around, but constantly get starting jobs and do good things for whatever team he's on, but then also shit the bed for that same team.
Moving on to your beloved Green Bay Packers. A lot of news already going on about what they've been doing in the last couple of days. They're trying to make room for Devontae Adams, but now reports are coming out last night that Aaron Rodgers wants to be the highest paid quarterback annually per year, meaning he wants to make $45 million. Don't roll your eyes. That was a report. Yeah. I know you don't feel like
it. Greg Jennings.
No, I'm just saying it's he wants to be the highest paid. And honestly, he should be. Look, I don't see why you wouldn't pay this guy top dollar.
I don't understand why they make it news a week after the fact that the Packers literally came out last week and said that they're fully prepared to make Aaron Rodgers the highest paid quarterback.
Sure,
in
but
NFL
that means
history.
it's going to be a $45 million cap hit.
So then this, but no. That's not how no, Dave.
If it's an annual salary, yes, it is.
So you're telling me right now that annual salary is always so how much was Dak's cap hit last year?
Wasn't as much.
Wasn't as much as his what?
His number.
His annual salary, because of what? So it gets worse progressively. They're gonna defer that money to the back end. We're gonna be in a very similar situation to the way the Breeze and the Saints are in right now in about 3 or 4 years, and that's where that Aaron Rodgers money is gonna go. There's a window to potentially win now, and the Packers are gonna go all in on that. And I got kind of started in on why the Saints are in a tough spot, and we kind of led into the Packers. But for the same reason why what's happening in Green Bay right now is why the Saints are in a tough spot. Drew Brees held them hostage in this final season, and they were trying to go all in with a team, but now they're in a spot where they have a lot of good players that are up. And do they bring these guys back, or they just scrap the whole thing and rebuild? I think the second option is probably more likely. But right now, the Packers signing Aaron Rodgers to an extension, he's already under contract, so mind you that. So that makes
his cap number coming up is $46 million, and that's with the bonus.
Yeah. So point being is when Aaron Rodgers extends, the ability to fix the entire situation and bring in Davante Adams and possibly even, well, let me rephrase that. The two fixes to this situation right now, cut Zadarius Smith. He's got
Zadarius Smith has a 15.2 savings if you cut him.
After June 1st,
No,
it's 27.
Pre-June 1st is that, and then Zadarius Smith is 15 again.
All right. So either way, he's going to get it. So we could say
Aaron Rodgers,
15 million on the cap right there with Zadarius Smith. We just had Kenny Clark work out a deal where they freed up 11 million. Aaron Jones, same deal. Deferred all his later money,
which
guaranteed
leads
money
you
to
to
a
believe
signing
that there's so much.
There's a lot
things
happening
you
in
can
Green Bay
manipulate
right now that they're figuring out. And that's why he's saying the thumbnail is a salary cap a myth. Yes and no. Like teams could work around it, as you see mid-season when the Rams have no cap space, they were able to bring in Von Miller and Odell Beckham. So if there was a hard cap in the NFL like they say there is, those things wouldn't be happening. But Aaron Rodgers restructures the deal, puts all the money into a signing bonus. So he gets his 45 mil this year, but a lot of it is in the front end, and they make it a 5-year deal. Right. So
clearly he's not going to play for 5 years.
There's no way he's going to play.
So they're going to probably have no bonuses or any. There's probably going to be an out after year 2.
Yeah.
Like with zero.
100%.
So I agree. Do you think that the Packers have any other cap casualties coming their way besides Zadarius Smith? Because a lot of these guys, the savings on some of these guys will be very beneficial, but I don't know how much their value to the team is. Randall Cobb is a $6 million cut.
Well, that's what I was going to say. The two things that they need to do is Rodgers, the restructure, and Randall Cobb, if he wants to come back, he's going to have to fix that number because he's just not producing at that level
right now. Randall Cobb's number is almost $10 million.
Yeah. So they're going to have to fix that number. And I think that that's very, very likely considering
I would think that if Rodgers comes back, he's going to say, oh, by the way, you're also signing Davante, give him his money, and you're getting Randall on the little year.
That's why everybody's like, what's taking so long on the decision? And I don't think we talked about this. The only way I think Rodgers could feasibly come out and be angry with the Packers is if Davante walks. And at that point, you might see Aaron Rodgers be like, okay,
Davante would only walk if they don't get something done with Aaron Rodgers. So they said it yesterday. Gutekunst said, he's like, the dominoes will fall after we figure out what the hell's going on with Rodgers.
Yeah, but
because as of right now, the communication is great.
Don't think that shit. As Rodgers, Cobb, and Davante Adams are probably the 3 closest friends on the team, right? Don't think that they're not having private conversations about what needs to happen. You don't think Davante and Aaron Rodgers are literally in lockstep about how this is going to all work, and then going to Cobb and being like, look, bro, for Davante to get his, you're going to have to take a little bit less if you want to be a part of this. And I think everybody out of those 3 should be on board.
Do you have an inkling as to, let's just say they work it all out with Rodgers first, which, by the way, is what they said they need to do. They got to figure that out first.
The announcements are going to come like on the same day.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you. What if Rodgers signs his deal, right? Would does that mean Adams is 1,000% back, or is he going to test?
I think Adams is going where Rodgers goes.
Okay. So that's what you're.
Unless Rodgers gets traded somewhere.
Now here's another hypothetical, because hypotheticals are great, right, in sports, especially in a dead time. Rodgers signs. Adams gets offered trillions of dollars. Again, we get it. The highest paid receiver in football from the Las Vegas Raiders, who have the money to do so, right? Does Rodgers change his mind? And say, you know what? I'm not doing this shit.
I understand the line of questioning and the hypothetical aspect of it, but the reality of this not all being figured out before, it's going to all be contingent. So it's going to have to be a thing where there's like good faith deals being made where it's like, we're going to sign Aaron Rodgers, but Davante Adams is sitting directly next to him in the GM's office, and they work the deals out at the exact same time. There's no reason why they need to do it and be like, Rodgers is signed, and then the next day Davante is like, I'm out. And then Rodgers is then back, that would be just such a breakdown in communication, and there will be several parties at fault in that one. So no, I can't see that being
Chris Payne coming in. Seattle's not one of the teams that we're going to be discussing today, but he said Russell Wilson has washed his social media of the Seattle Seahawks.
So did Smith.
Who? Smith. Zadarius?
Yeah, but that was weeks ago.
We knew that was going to happen, and that's kind of a thing. All right, on to America's team, ladies and gentlemen. That's the Dallas Cowboys. They're in a little bit of a heap of trouble, too, because they have a lot of guys that are currently scheduled to walk. Free agents include, in my head, if I had to roll off a couple, Randy Gregory, their defensive end. Michael Gallup's coming off ACL. Then his backup, which is Cedric Wilson, he's on his way out. Leighton Vander Esch was not re-upped. There's other Keanu Neal was on a 1-year deal. He's pretty much gone. The Cowboys are in a little bit of a situation here because, truth be told, we all know the elephant in the room are the bad contracts. And when I say bad contracts, I'm talking about Amari Cooper. I'm talking about Dak Prescott. Dak's contract is not bad because I've looked at the structure of it. It's not actually as bad as everybody says. The worst one is Zeke. Ezekiel Elliott's contract.
That's not terrible now, but if that back end,
The back
gets
end
a little
shit.
bit bad.
The back end's very shit.
But I think when you sign that long-term deal as a quarterback, you understand if
If
you're going to have
a long-term deal, it's like
it is-
4 years.
I mean, it is in terms of modern, like this NFL teams
Yeah, I mean,
aren't really going.
Mahomes is out there signing 10-year deals.
Different player, fit to be fair. But as far as the Dak situation goes, is when you sign that deal, you know damn well if you want to be a successful team in 3 years, you're going to have to re-sign a new deal and fix things for the team.
And apparently he's going to be in a lot of these decision-making things. Dak's going to get a little bit more sway in who they bring back. But again, Amari Cooper is out there. He's wide receiver 1. He will always be wide receiver 1 as long as he's on that team. CeeDee Lamb has the potential to be, but I think Cooper's just a little bit better in certain aspects, route running, all that shit, extend the field, blah, blah, blah. $20 million a year.
Everything in football.
$20 million a year is a lot. And they have an out. They have a legitimate cut now, save now. And that doesn't happen a lot when you have these big number contracts. So if you cut Amari Cooper right now, you're going to make $20 million on the cap. And that literally, no bullshit, solves the entire cap situation. You cut one guy. Because I'm looking at Amari Cooper, and I'm also looking at DeMarcus Lawrence. Because DeMarcus Lawrence, again, no guarantee right now. His savings would be $8 million right now. Cooper will be 16. I guess there's dead money involved.
no-brainer. Cooper is gone.
I don't know about that because if you can trade him and get something back for him, I'm almost okay with that. But if they outright cut him,
either way, no brainer. Cooper is gone.
I don't
They're going
know,
to try
man.
to work out a deal, but they have very, very, very little leverage. So if they're going to get a deal done, it's going to be one of those deals where you look at
they don't need leverage. He's contracted.
But you're going to have to understand what I'm talking about with leverage in terms of if the GMs around the league know that Amari Cooper's getting cut, correct? If they can't work out a deal, you're less likely to give up a little bit more. The only time that price drives up again is if there's several suitors and you could turn it into a bidding war, which at those points, I guess it's possible. And we typically do see that. You got to it's like striking while the iron is hot in terms of trading a player like that. But
there was a bunch of hypotheticals online.
But the thing is, when there's guys out there that are in free agency at the time or pending free agents, and I think there's a decent amount of receivers out there.
It's a big class.
It also drives down the demand for a trade partner in terms of receivers.
When they know they can just go spend the money.
Yeah, usually you see those things take place after when teams miss out on their guy. And it's like, okay, we wanted a receiver, we missed out. Free agency's next to over. Who could we? But at that point, the Cowboys are going to already have needed to act. So it's very interesting how they're going to work out the Cooper thing. I think that they will try to trade him. And if they get a 3rd round pick for him, I think that's a win.
There was a hypothetical going around that the Jacksonville Jaguars 2nd and a 5th.
That's a win.
Think so?
Yeah, because it's it's like a late 1st round pick. So if you could get that for a guy that is in his walks,
so they would have the 24th.
You're probably going to have to cut.
They would have the 24th and like the 33rd overall picks in the draft.
Yeah, so it's not a bad. That's not a bad deal. But that's all bullshit. Where'd you see that? Was it some fan?
I know. I'm just saying the hypotheticals
Scoop?
are all over the place. Pro Football Focus, and I don't really buy into a lot of the stuff they talk about. But the hypotheticals are out there. Obviously, the Cowboys have a couple moves to make.
And there's no tag situation with Cooper because he's contracted, which is we didn't bring up that.
Who said
Devontae
tag?
Adams? No, I'm just saying.
Oh no,
I'm thinking hypothetically.
He's not a free agent.
He's not one of those candidates. Devontae Adams is. So even if Devontae doesn't want anything to do with a long-term deal, he's either going to have to hold out, sit out a season, or he's going to have to play under the tag number.
That's been clear.
And I think right now if it's going to fracture, that's going to be the fracture before it's with Aaron Rodgers.
Anan Ashar coming in saying someone's got to trade for Calvin Ridley. Ridley wants out. That's another. So not only is there a deep wide receiver market,
I think
he wants a restart. Yeah, that's been reported from last year. He wants a restart. And by the way, another team that can't do anything are the Falcons because of Matt Ryan's number. Christ, like the guy's making $45 million this year in his cap number. That's asinine.
And then you got the front office and the coaches that are completely backing Matt Ryan still. At least the coaching staff was.
Hey, well, Mike was coming and saying Jordan Lewis re-signed to be our slot cornerback. Did that happen today? Did they restructure him? Because he was He's under contract. So I don't, unless he's not. I don't know. In any event, Cowboys can make a couple moves. I know a lot of people are saying the move to make is Zeke, because obviously he hasn't performed up to the contract worth, which he was paid, $100 million to be the Cowboys' number one running back. And obviously, again, it hasn't really played out right now. If they cut him post June 1st, they would make no money. So we established this. I was talking to Sauce about this. Zeke is there.
Yeah,
Zeke is not going
Zeke will
anywhere.
be there next year, but that'll be Zeke's final lap, we'll call it, his little victory lap. If you could actually stay on the field, Zeke will probably be out of Dallas after next season, and we kind of agree on that, right? Unless he takes
balls out, man. Unless he
only that, unless he balls out and then also takes way less money, regardless of how he plays, because I just don't see them being able to allocate that much money in a bad situation, because balling out, and then if he balls out, that means he's going to probably get the ball 300 times.
And that would mean less Tony Pollard, which would not be beneficial for the Cowboys. All right, moving on. After the Cowboys come the Los Angeles Rams. We're sitting there $21 million over the salary cap right now. Their biggest gripe right now, the only way they could save money is big money, is if they do something with
Stafford.
Well, yeah, Stafford right now, if they cut him outright, it'd be a $23 million like they get money right there. But they won't do that.
Yeah,
his cap number is 23 with no guarantee.
And how many years left on the deal?
I would have to pull that up. Matt Stafford
2
technically
1.
is contracted through. He's got a voided year of 23. This is his last year.
So that's a definite. You could expect a Stafford extension in LA to fix some of this. I could guarantee that. And
that would
turn
work
that 23
easily,
million into like a $10 million hit for this season.
Mm-hmm. They maybe a $400,000 dead money hit from Odell Beckham. So he's out.
But I think Odell, with the injury situation, that's probably the best case scenario for the Rams. And I know that this sounds crazy.
Oh, he's out. It was a 1-year deal, so he's out.
Yeah, but where do you bring a guy back? Like Odell's probably going to have to sign a lesser deal, a 1-year deal.
Well, from what I'm reading, he's not going to be ready for anything.
Well, that's my point.
He might miss a whole year.
Odell is very comfortable in LA, obviously, because a lot of things just went well for him there.
Mm-hmm.
So he has teammates. And then you have Aaron Donald coming out and saying, "Bring back Odell and Von Miller, and then you'll get me back too." I think it's going to cost a little bit more money to get Aaron Donald to play again.
They're going to get $16 million from Whitworth when he retires, because he's retiring now. He's got a $17 million cap hit if he were to stay. So $17 million to stay or retire and walk into the sunset at the age of 40, whatever the hell he is. So yeah, he's out. So that's $17 million right there. So that kind of solves a lot. Robert Woods coming back with a 3-point. Robert Woods deal is big too, man. Damn, cap number $15 million for Robert Woods. That's big. Where does Cooper Kupp get paid yet? Yeah, he got his deal. 18.6. So between Robert Woods and Cooper Kupp, it's over $32 million in receivers. And that's without Beckham's gone.
If Beckham was able to keep his health through the postseason, then I think that you could see a potential Robert Woods situation happen in LA. But right now, I think Robert Woods brings a lot to the table blocking wise. I'm curious to know how it's going to go down. I think Aaron Donald is the big piece here to find out what's going to happen with him. If Aaron Donald does in fact retire, then you could expect Von Miller to get paid that Aaron Donald money. But if Aaron Donald doesn't retire and he comes back, I don't see how it's going to be possible for them to bring back Von Miller. That's just not going to happen.
I know. That's going to be rough. Chris came in asking if OBJ's contract was shit because he took it in crypto. I think that's a thing. I think that's actually true.
Yeah.
Right? I think I read something about that, but
There's
I'm
a
sure he'll.
Huge debate about that between Kyle and somebody else on a.
Yeah, I mean, like
Sports Group.
it's Odell definitely got screwed, but at the same time, he didn't sell. So if the crypto goes back up, that contract in time could be worth more. I know he's still going to have to pay payroll taxes, and that's what the argument was about. But yeah, these guys that are like, oh, he lost money. Well, he only lost money if he sold the shares of crypto. If the crypto that he owns happens to shoot up in value over the next 2 years and then he sells, yeah, then he made money. So
do you own any Bitcoin or crypto or anything like that?
Huh?
NFTs?
I don't even barely have real money. The fuck you want? Crypto money.
Amen.
Here's a prediction from Anand. This is kind of interesting. Amazon is going to sway McVay away from the Rams to call Thursday night football games.
No, it's no.
You imagine how much money they can toss on him, bro?
Sean McVay is obsessed with coaching football.
But he's also obsessed with talking football.
He's obsessed with coaching football because you get to coach and talk at the
But I'm
same
saying
time.
Romo, same thing.
And I
Obsessed
think
with
that
football
there's,
became an
I
amazing
think that
announcer.
when a guy tastes like that tastes success, I think he has lofty goals. I don't know that he'll achieve them, but his self-belief and his addiction to coaching football is evident to me. He's even got his girl on board with it fully, where she's the one that actually came out and dispelled any rumors of him leaving, saying that's not going to happen. He's like
Until Amazon comes calling, knocking on the door, like, "Hey, Prime delivery, what's that? $1 trillion."
Also, that's like
oh.
that might not be accurate because Amazon has been rumored to have offered this same money to like 11
Aikman.
people.
You hear Aikman?
I
Going to
wonder
ESPN?
I wonder who all these guys' agent is, because I could almost guarantee you that
Drew
there's
Rosenhaus.
a little publicity stunt happening where Amazon is being leveraged into getting Sean Payton more money, Sean McVay more money, Troy Aikman more money. Everybody that's rumored to be going somewhere new, it's Amazon, right? And then they're going to end up signing or getting re-upped at the place that they're at for more money in lieu of the Amazon rumor. And that's what I think about that.
We shall see. Let's see. Number one on the list of Dina's Google search history, Sean McVay nude pics. Is that true, Dina?
No.
Do you search for nudes of Sean McVay?
Of Sean McVay, no.
But there is nudes in the search. Okay, well
Absolutely.
that is confirmed. Anyway, let's go fix the Vikings, huh? Shall we fix the Vikings? Is it an easy fix? Kirk Cousins able to be moved, possibly. They're not going to outright cut him. They have no savings on the cut. If they trade him, they can. That's the big deal. They could trade Kirk Cousins and save $35 million then.
That was the whole big deal about that contract, was that he got
Guaranteed.
all fully
All of it.
guaranteed.
And at the time, everybody's like, how the hell? And now everybody wants the Kirk Cousins deal. Everything fully guaranteed. That never happens anymore, ever.
Yeah, because it shouldn't happen. It never happened before that, and it shouldn't happen anymore because
He's got a hell of
it's
an
like,
agent.
Yeah.
Let's see. Big numbers here. Daniel Hunter. 14 million they would save if they cut him. He's making 26. His number's $26 million. Eric Kendricks. I know they're losing
Anthony Barr.
Harrison Smith's got a nice little number there. He makes 13. They would save
Smith
5.
is arguably the most overrated player.
I
in
love
football.
Harrison Smith.
You
I don't know.
would.
I mean, yeah, well, the Packer fan in you is hating Harrison Smith because he's a jerk off. And don't get me wrong, I think he's great at football. He tried to choke out CeeDee Lamb last year, so F him on a personal front.
I don't
care.
That good.
But Anthony Barr out. Dalvin Tomlinson, that's a $7.5 million cap hit. I mean, that's a lot of money, man.
Minnesota's not really in deep peril right now.
No, they're not in deep peril. Neither are the Giants.
And I think, honestly, that there's the Kirk Cousins situation. If they want to commit to this guy, and they got a new coach who came out and endorsed him right away. Was it the O'Connell guy, right? Kevin O'Connell. He came out and endorsed Kirk Cousins right away.
Switch it to the Vikings.
I don't know that. I don't know that Kirk Cousins or the Vikings, no matter who the coach is endorsing, are in a position right now to give an extension to Kirk Cousins, and that would definitely fix things. But they don't want him.
I don't think they want him. Yeah,
I don't know that they want him this season. It's just coach speak to come out and say, "Yeah, well, we're on board with the guy we got." I'm pretty sure Tomlin just endorsed Mason Rudolph as the starter in Pittsburgh, because what the fuck else are you going to do? You have to do that in case things don't work out.
Hypothetical trade that Chris Payne saw: Cousins to Carolina for a draft pick and Darnold. So Sam Darnold to Minnesota. Is Sam Darnold just going to wind up just being this guy who's just kind of like a Fitzpatrick, just winds up on 15
the thing
teams?
About it is there's only 32 starting jobs, and there's like 8 starting quarterbacks drafted in the first round every year. There's just not room for all these guys. So yes.
So somebody's going to get moved out for good. Pittsburgh needs a quarterback, but all of a sudden they're talking about Mason Rudolph being their guy.
Yeah. Were you not here 2 seconds ago?
Did you say that?
Yeah. Literally 2 seconds ago. But yeah, that's because of the weak quarterback class in this draft. And I keep on saying how I think quarterbacks will shoot up the draft board as we approach the draft. As I'm reading more, I just don't think that's going to happen, honestly.
Kyle
like
coming in.
EJ Manuel draft class where he was the first quarterback.
Did you see that whole graphic?
Brutal.
My God. Vikings can get Kirk Cousins super cheap right now. I think it's a smart move. Couldn't load up that defense with talent and with cap space.
Yeah, no, I agree. There is something to be said for
need
that.
A quarterback.
It would be a smart move because they can get him fairly cheap, considering where his contract was and where it will be. And it will save. They could arguably save 30. They could be like way under the cap with a Kirk Cousins extension. And then you have other teams that are willing to kind of kick the tires on Kirk Cousins as a starter. Maybe the Vikings are looking at this situation as, we will do something if it works out for us in terms of a trade. But if not, I would not be surprised to see Kirk Cousins get an extendo in Minnesota.
Oh my God, dude, you
I would
love
not be
that.
surprised. I would love that.
You would love that. Let's finish this up with the New York Football Giants. Now they're not in terrible cap hell right now, but I'm curious to see what they would do because there are a couple questions that are raising. If you're a Giant fan out there, you got to wonder: is Saquon Barkley going to get that second deal? I don't know if he's warranted his play.
So like this is more or less like what are the Giants going to do with Daniel Jones and Saquon more so than how to fix the cap,
right? Because they're like 10
barely
million
over
up,
10.
you can make something
Yeah,
out.
so
You're good.
cut one of their scrub receivers and they'll be under the cap.
Ready for Kenny Galladay? Or
Yeah,
all you Kenny
new
Galladay
of a
jock
deal.
riders.
Too new of a deal for them to save much with a Kenny Galladay cut.
Where the hell is Kenny Galladay?
Making $21 million this year.
Yeah, I don't know where he is.
Is Evan Engram a free agent?
He is.
Right.
There's Galladay. Galladay's number was I just saw it. What the hell? Oh, there it is. He is Kenny Galladay's making more than Amari Cooper, $21 million. If they cut him, they're screwed. It's too new.
Yeah,
they're screwed.
They
can't.
Kenny Galladay is their guy. And
Leonard
I also-
Williams,
I
$27 million.
still think Kenny
Get the
Galladay could pan out
fuck
in
outta
New York. I just think without that, the head coach is running quarterback sneaks on 3rd and 6. If you're a wideout playing in that huddle, like I just don't understand how you even care one bit. I'm not doing anything you asked me to do if that's the play you're calling. So you got to give the pass to Galladay on year 1, I think, right?
Yeah, sure.
Considering how bad the Giants were coached. And I don't know. I'm not sure. I think whether Leonard Williams is their biggest cap hit.
Yeah, $27 million.
Right, but he's also their best player by far. So
Barkley hates contact. Get rid of him. Dude, the Giants receivers are making 43.5 on their books next year. Oh my God. Like $43 million. There's a quarter of your salary cap is in your receiving.
Can I be honest? I think that's pretty standard if you want to have success in the league. It just has to be scattered a little bit better. The Giants receiving core is very good. It's just that they don't have an offensive line, they don't have a quarterback, and they haven't had a head coach.
But that's not true in the sense of the Packers. Like you're about to pay Devontae crazy money, right? But the rest of them aren't going to make anything close.
Yeah, but we're talking about a team that has a quarterback that's making $45 million.
Yeah.
So there's a very different dynamic there where you don't need to have an insane amount of receiving talent if you have the insane amount of talent at quarterback.
That's true.
I think that the formula is the 2009 team. Well, look at the teams that win the Super Bowl historically and look at their receivers. Outside of the Chiefs, and even I think Tyreek Hill was on his rookie deal at that time. Just look at the payment towards the receiving core. The Packers had just good depth at receiver when they won. Jennings, Driver, Jordy, still young. Yeah, I don't think that the $40 million isn't too much.
Oh God, Mom, stop! It's just terrible. Mom's coming in at the end. They know you used to work for the Giants.
I'm pretty sure Dave has mentioned that once a week over the course of podcasting at one point or another. That if you are a listener of this show, you typically should know that Dave interned for the Giants, right? And that he tore his ACL.
I mentioned it a couple times.
Yeah,
and I tore my ACL once upon a time. And I wrestled Hacksaw Jim Duggan. So there's things that I've said.
And Chris Payne hit him with a chair.
And Chris Payne hit me with a chair. Which, by the way, Payne, thank you so much for posting that picture, showing you improving your upward swing as you nick the top of my head and busted me wide open. Sergeant Slaughter said, "You've never looked better." And I was like, "Oh my God," and just blood pouring. Lita looked at me and I was like, "Hi, Lita," and I'm just bleeding everywhere.
So who's
funny.
the quarterback that comes in this season to challenge Daniel Jones is the better question, I think, to be asked here, because
so you think that's going to happen?
I think 100% if
So there's
Carson
an
Wentz
so you
gets
think
cut,
that there's an
if Carson
open
Wentz gets cut by the Colts, right, and he's making a little bit of money from the Colts because he's cut, and then he's able to go in and sign this lesser deal, because really if you get cut by the Colts and they're like a quarterback away and they're like, well, he's not the quarterback that we were away, right? So
By the
like,
way,
the rest of the league, it's kind of tarnish a little bit of your shine. Now, the Giants are a perfect situation, I think, to kick the tires on a guy like Wentz, because they're not sure what they have in Daniel Jones. And Carson Wentz has been a proven borderline starting caliber quarterback. And I think both guys just need to be challenged a little bit. And we'll see, hopefully, one of them.
I would belly laugh if Carson Wentz is the quarterback of the New York Giants.
Don't be surprised. I feel like that just is going to happen. I don't know why I feel like that's going to happen, but I feel like it's going to happen.
Look at this. Saw a couple things saying Mitch Trubisky to the Giants, according to Brian Casey, which, by the way, Casey was one of them who came in last night, texted me at like 7 o'clock.
I think
said he missed us.
The plan to bring in a quarterback would be to push the quarterback to get better because of the risk of losing his starting job. If you bring in Mitchell Trubisky, you're pretty much just telling Daniel Jones, like, you're our guy, because there is a 0% chance that anybody is looking at the running back / Tim Tebow, Mitch Trubisky, because that's who I compare him to in throwing the football. He throws it like Tebow, but righty, right? Mitch Trubisky is on his way out of the league at this point, I think, right? The Giants bring in Mitch Trubisky. It's not going to be anything besides a third string quarterback.
Oh, what about Jameis?
Well, Jameis is going to be probably the highest paid quarterback in the free agent market.
So the Giants right now have to make up their minds real quick.
And the Giants going into this last season, I feel like we're one of the teams that, if we were having the opposite conversation about what are the Giants going to do with all this cap space, they literally ate all the cap space up last offseason. And now all the guys that you're looking at are the guys that are like, well, this contract is too new. This contract is too new. This guy's on his rookie deal. The Giants, while they're really only a move or two away, they have such difficult questions because they're a bad team. So most of these other teams, they're like kind of coming off of a successful season. The Giants, they're not, right? They're having to fix all this and get better while trying to fix their cap and do it with rookie contracts and new deals. I think the new GM has his work cut out for him because the old GM really chopped this one up big time.
That's a perfect way to end it because he said chop, right? It's in the proof is in the pudding. But ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching this video, please do us a favor, like the video on YouTube, subscribe to the network, and subscribe to the channel. We really appreciate that. It goes a long way. And I apologize deeply for the tech difficulties in the beginning. And I would say but Chris just sat in his chair and was like, you know what? This is gonna work. Everything's gonna work out. He's got this. He must be doing the Rodgers cleanse or some shit like that, where you're just eating butter.
I ate 4 sticks of butter this morning. I'm gonna go fucking pull trig in the bathroom. You're not supposed to have to pull trigger in the Pancha Karma, but I'm about to.
Yeah, you're gonna have to. But so I was the one that was frantically running all over the place, throwing Dean out the way through walls and shit. But yeah, so I apologize for that. I apologize for the beginning of it. It's been a stressful couple days at Chop Sports, but listen, we're having productive meetings. We did that, we're starting to talk about dodgeball and kickball. I talked to guys at the golf club, which is the TGC, thegolfclub.com. We might be collaborating with those guys to play some golf coming up in the spring. So there's a lot of cool shit happening.
I think that's this collaboration with those guys is where I'm going to get to do my
speed golf.
I'm going to be like, look, I got a fucking proposition for you that we need some.
Let it happen,
when
boys.
You guys have these links again, all I need is 30 minutes. I'll be done with the course. I promise.
Yeah. Also, I do want to thank the Grasso. He's now the Grasso because I feel like he's the one that.
I feel like there's a lot of the Grasso.
Sam's been like more interactive.
Sam.
Yeah, Sam.
Right?
It's like The Rock, the Grasso. No, but Sam Grasso came in, dropped off a lighting rig with a bunch of LED lights. I got to talk to our lighting guy. We're about to get this ready. My Uncle Billy is working on the desk. Like, things are going to get really, really cool over here at Chop Sports. So we thank you guys for sticking with us each and every day, Monday through Friday. We made a nice little graphic that's made its rounds. Please spread the word. Tell your friends. Tell everybody to subscribe to us. We're a growing small business. We appreciate you. Chris is like, hold on, Chris Payne, because my mic's not on. I don't know.
Looks on to me.
Turn my mic on. Right? It's a Mike Francis.
Literally, I'm sitting here watching this whole thing unfold. Dave gets up to go over to plug in the mic, and he double axe handled or whatever. Like,
it was a back elbow.
It was like one of the elbows. I'm gonna explain it.
Bam,
when if Hulk Hogan got like his arm picked up by the ref and he fell once, and then it was picked up again. Don't mind the pit stains, guys. And then it fell again, and then on the third one,
coming back,
he
brother.
was in a headlock by fucking Andre the Giant, and Hogan fucking just gave him the dips. Dave did that to the wall, and it was like the softest elbow I've ever seen.
I pulled back.
I thought you were like, that was a
worker.
I was like, Dave, you could elbow me anytime you want, because that looked like very, very
that was a worker's elbow, meaning taught me how to refrain from actually trying to hurt anybody. I didn't want to put a hole in the wall. I've done enough of that shit in my life. I'm not doing that in our studio.
I think there's a line of people outside waiting for you to punch them square dead in the face. Ashley's one of them. My mother's one of them. Fuck. And then somebody said, I think it was Kyle, was like, anybody that's saying I'm lying is gotta suck my balls. And I was like, my mom is in that fucking chat, bro.
But that balls thing was such a great segue into my read, so it actually worked out really well. Oh, what a show. With viewers. Anthony coming in. Viewers, the mic isn't on. They're fucking with me.
Bro, when you walked out yesterday.
Yo, then hell, Dina was like, yo, they're trolling you. I'm like, oh.
Bro, when
I
you
was
walked out,
reading a comment that said
yesterday.
they were trolling you.
Anthony looked up at me and very subtle and quiet. He was like, I hate it when mom and dad fight.
I was fighting with you?
No. Just meaning like that awkward feeling when you were a kid and like your parents are fighting and it's like,
Dude, I hate it when people are angry around me. Like it's the most awkward
listen, that's
feeling.
the angriest I've ever. I mean, I felt angry yesterday because for obvious reasons
And it
I was
my
angry. We didn't get a
birthday.
show
I was
up.
like, you're making me sad. Everything's broken and I'm sad.
Everything was breaking yesterday, and it was just like you talk to these bots on the phone, or like, hit 1, did that not work? Hit 2, hit 3, hit 4. Oh, that was close. Hit 4. You know, I'm just like, dude, just test my goddamn internet. And then like you got a guy coming in here at like 6 o'clock last night, which by the way,
says you threw something too.
I what?
You threw something too.
Judy, my pen's over there.
Poor Chris's mom.
You threw something. He's unstable. Get out of there. Oh man, I've been really good. I'm not gonna lie. I've been very zen.
Mom.
I like
Oh,
dolphins.
Dave's been zen. The fuck are you?
I like
Dave,
dolphins.
do you
What
know what
fuck-
zen
I like
means?
turtles.
I just want D-Stir
Dave,
to know that
Dave,
I love
do
her.
me a
What?
favor. Google zen and then rethink what you just said.
What?
We're
Saying
gonna-
I've been zen.
I've been zen.
I've been pretty good.
We're
I
gonna
mean,
work on like a daily Chop Sports meditation.
and we're gonna work that into the
hour,
hour
like
after our
maybe a-
business meeting. After this, that, and the
Exactly.
third. Yeah, I'm gonna work in an hour of just.
You know what? I'll take 15 minutes of meditation.
I
zen
haven't been to
you
the gym
the
all week.
fuck
I
out.
decided to
You
take
could
a week off.
accelerate the
get my
15
body
minutes and
right.
do it like the DMT version of meditation is just take a bowl hit.
We are not
then
giving
you're
him
good.
drugs.
Your pain coming in. You absolutely threw something, you animal. Oh my god, what a show. I came in last night. Scoop said I came in last night and Gooch was looking down at his computer, still sad about it.
I actually was. I was just sitting here with music playing and I was sitting like this, like just staring down. And then Scoop walked in. I was like, oh shit, I forgot.
I sat in my room all night.
Scoop
last
hit me
night,
up with
barely
the- he's
eating
like-
side to toast.
He hit me up with the bad day yesterday. I'm like, dude, you don't even know. You don't even know. Snowflake shop, Chris.
Poor toast probably thinks I hate him.
Blah blah. The anger sharks are swimming. That's See, Doc, Iverson just missed the layup. Sixers lose. Who gives a crap, right? I gotta get out of here. All right, we got things to do, ladies and gentlemen. This is a place of business. Fix this goddamn internet. So anyway, thank you guys for watching. We appreciate you for searching Gooch, of course, and of course, Dina. Thank you so much for producing the show. Sorry again about everything. She's gonna storm out of here. She's like, "Fuck this kid. I don't even get paid for this shit." And yeah,
Her
we're gonna have a
audio is
great
bugging.
weekend. Everybody have themselves a great weekend. Lots of sports to go over. We'll let you know how our Knicks experience. We might go live on Instagram and stuff. So follow us around on Instagram. Or Facebook. We're gonna be live at the Mecca with the entire crew. There's a whole bunch of people going to the Garden. Found a way to get my vaccination certificate via the phone. By the way, definitely lost that card. So whatever. Screw New York being behind the 8 ball on that one. So
You could buy them on Amazon. So
oh, trust me, plenty of people hit me up at DMs like, "Yo, just fill this out." I was like, "Oh my god!" I was like, "Is it that easy? Holy shit!"
they're not
The
vax
pharmacist
cards.
just writes a number and a store number on there. Like,
How many times have you been asked in your lifetime to get your vaccine card checked?
Never, not once.
I've been asked one time, and
Where?
it was at Rutgers,
Oh, okay.
and it wasn't looked at.
at
It was
yeah.
like the kid was 11 years
Ooh,
old.
Are you blowing Rutgers up right now? You're just throwing them under the
At
bus.
the Devils
I'm
game,
pretty
they
sure
asked
that-
to see ours, and we
I'm
just held
pretty
up a
sure
white
that like
newspaper.
it's not a TSA check. It's not even an ID check. It's like a library card check. It's a very standard thing. It's like, oh, your willingness to show something is enough for these people.
I mean, they have no way to like prove that it's real.
Bro, it's just that
standing
you
there.
can't ask like a 16-year-old host at a restaurant to be like, let me see your vax card, get out.
I mean, they
She's
do
a
in New York. They kick you right out.
But they don't.
Okay, they don't. Anyway, we're not going to get into vaccinations. Don't worry about it. Get vaccinated. I'm kidding. I don't care what you do. Just stay away from me if you're sick. So that's it. We'll talk to you guys on Monday. Enjoy the weekend, everybody.